And what is up, guys? Technicals here, checking in. Well, I usually say checking in on our little 3D print operation, but I forgot I have a crypto channel. It's been like, I don't know, 6 weeks, and I told myself when I got back into doing crypto content, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna delete my channel like I did the first time and be a drama llama like a big baby and just leave, I hate mining, and delete my channel and whatnot. I gotta keep the channel going, just on the wing and the prayer that crypto mining comes back and I have a channel and maybe it's monetized then and I can get some of that sweet subscriber money. I see people on Twitter starting to fight it out like, sponsorship's bad. You told him to buy an ASIC. You forced him to buy an And I don't care about any of that kind of thing, but I want to keep my channel going just in case that happens for the future. So today I'm going to recap what I've been doing in the mining space for anyone remotely interested. Mining, not so good right now. That's been the case for like, I don't know, a year. When I got back into doing the YouTube thing, it was on the heels of that rise in GPU mining profitability. It was like late 22, I don't even remember. It was like, I don't know, 18 months ago or something like that. And I was like, oh, look, it's back. I think I'll fire this thing back up. If you've been following my channel, why? You've seen that I've been kind of like winding down, got out of CPU mining, got out of GPU mining, not doing salad, have sold a few ASICs. The farm is kind of whittling down. So I'm going to show you what I've done or lack thereof and kind of what I plan to do or lack thereof here in the future. And you want to know how bad it is, how phoned in it is? I didn't even bother putting on pants for this because why bother? So yes, I still have the mining shed within a shed mining room going, but there's been a few changes. So you can see here my S19J Pros, gone. Sold them on eBay. Probably going to be selling the S21 and the K7 here soon. I drop the prices $100 every single day until it sells, just to get it out of here. Now the S21 is still profitable at my power rate. The K7, not so much. It's kind of right on the line, but I'm basically done with that. And the only one that I plan on keeping is my X5. GPU miners, gone. Ice River ASICs, this KSO Ultra and the AL0, got them turned off. Not profitable at all. No real reason to keep them going. And I'm starting to store things in here. You know it's bad when you start to store things. Now I understand completely that now is the time to mine for high yields and hold on to the coins, and then on the next bull run, on the next alt season, that's when you get your price appreciation and you mined all those coins while it was unprofitable and now they're suddenly worth a whole mess of money. But I'm just not seeing it, and I think that maybe a lot of other people aren't seeing that too, and that's why things are kind of depressed. And everyone says that alt season's always around the corner. It always happens. But again, it only happened really twice, 2-3 times maybe in the history of things. And the first two real big alt seasons were kind of on the heels of Ethereum and when the ERC20 stuff started popping off. And now the alt season has converted or evolved into just meme coins. And it seems like people are kind of starting to get out of those. People just getting burned over and over and over and over again. And normal people are an inexhaustible resource. So you can't keep getting more and more normal people to get into it that haven't had experience with it, or at least experience with someone. They talk to someone that had experience in it and they're like, yeah, just don't bother. It's not worth it. And they just never decide to jump in. So that's just a lot of money that's not coming in to the market. Economic conditions on top of that kind of leading things down. Speculative instruments are usually people are the first to exit out of those kind of things. And so I'm just not seeing it. So that's kind of like why it explains the K7. Sure, I can keep mining nervous, but I've got a pretty good bag of nervous. And if it goes back up to a certain point, I'll dump it, I'll get rid of it. I don't know that I need to keep mining more of it. So I just as soon get rid of the miner here on eBay while things are on the downward trend versus holding on to it, and then suddenly things start going back up and oh look, Bitmain released the K9 and now mine's suddenly just worth nothing, and at least I could have gotten something out of it now. At least that's the rationale going on in my head. The S21 is profitable, but there's the S21 Pro and Hydros and all these kind of things, all these new ASICs coming out for SHA-256 that are really tuned up for industrial users, commercial grade users, not at-home users. I mean, to put in a ASIC like that, you gotta run a 30 amp circuit, you gotta have like these weird connectors and whatnot. They just don't care about home miners anymore, and I wouldn't either if I were them. I'd just make it for people who got buku bucks, because I'd rather sell 1,000 miners to one guy than one miner to 1,000 people. And so that makes perfect sense to me. Gonna dump it while I still can. Again, the only one I'm hanging on to is the X5 because Monero's going up, and I kind of I've said before that Monero's sort of my favorite coin and always has been forever and ever, because it's really the only one that has stayed true to one of the core fundamental principles of cryptocurrency, the privacy aspect of it. And it's for that reason that it's gets the short end of the stick for many exchanges, because they don't want to be liable for people transacting in Monero for illicit purposes. Completely understand, again, but I think that's kind of the appeal of a lot of this, and I don't know, just to be honest here. And so I think I'm gonna hang on to my X5. Monero's and tail emissions anyway. Wasn't that hugely expensive of an ASIC device, and I don't really see any of them selling on eBay. I'm not sure why. It seems like, you know, a miner like that would be transacting a little bit more, considering its profitability over other things. But the name of the game for me, get rid of my S21, get rid of my K7, the Ice River miners, the KSO Ultra, the AL0, no one's gonna buy those. And it's not even, I mean, someone might want it for like 50 bucks or something like that. But at that point, is it even worth taking the time to take it, dust it off, put it in a box, ship? It's not, it's just not. And so those are gonna remain off. I'll probably dust them off, put them back in their box, put them in storage just in case, because hey, L3s and L3 pluses, they were hot shit there for a while, and that's like a 50-year-old miner at this point. So I'm gonna hang on to those, gonna dust off the cases, again, put them in cold storage, maybe, I was thinking of repurposing that room as a chemical closet. That makes sense too. I have 100 amps of service coming in right in the middle of all these chemicals. You know, I don't know. I gotta put something in there because I'm running out of room in my building. But is it the end? Is it the end for technical? Is it the end part 19 for technicals? No, I'm gonna still do it and still monitor things, obviously, because most of my followers on Twitter are crypto people, so I can't help but get that shit in my feed. So I'm gonna maintain and keep track of those sort of things. Maybe something will pop off, maybe not. And again, I'm not super ultra extremely online with the cryptocurrency. I just don't have the patience for it. But you know, from what I see, other people, other creators, other personalities, other people who are really into it, I don't see much of a great explanation or a lot of optimism for another season run come up, and especially no optimism for like new projects. You know, like there's no big project everyone's rallying around. The only projects people are hanging on to are these ones that have been out for a few years that everyone thinks are going to X or Y dollars or whatever. And there's just I don't see any reason for it. Again, as a normie, I don't see the value proposition in a lot of these projects, at least something that these projects are doing or claim to be doing that couldn't be done by a centralized service or, you know, a VC that puts a few $1 million to a development firm to create and do the exact thing that these coins are doing, but these coins need to inject cryptocurrency into it because they want their bags to go up because they need to make a whole $1 billion. It's indignant of me, not to get off on a tangent, but again, no one's watching this shit anyway, off on a tangent, that it just speaks more to me about Gen Z and younger generations in this economic landscape. I understand it's hard for a lot of people, and a lot of people I feel are kind of defeated, and they don't see the get rich slowly sort of thing, the tried and true methods of building wealth slowly as a viable option. There's just too many forces working against them. And so they only see these Hail Mary shots, these parlays, these lottery tickets as their only way to escape the, you know, a bad financial situation. That's why people run to meme coins. That's why people run to cryptocurrency in general. And so I think a lot of people are gravitating towards that, and people see mining as more of a get rich slowly kind of scheme within cryptocurrency. It's like, why would I do that? Why would I spend $3 grand on a miner? I could put $3 grand on Buttcoin and maybe be worth $1 billion tomorrow. So I think that's kind of one of the reasons why maybe not a lot of people coming in, a lot of people once bitten, twice shy coming into the space, and mining's just kind of chopped liver at this point because, you know, you can be about the principles and talk all that jazz about it, but ultimately you're just working for somebody for free. You're just securing their network on the hopes that the IOUs that they're giving you are going to be worth something, and the bank doesn't close down before you know, it gets consolidated or something like that. So that's kind of my take. A bit nihilist, a bit pessimistic or cynical or whatever. Hey, Hey, how you doing? As always, I'd love to know what you're thinking in the comments below, because I derive all my opinions from what other people think, and so I can craft my persona and my thoughts to get ultimately more views and ultimately more sponsorship dollars, because I only really care about money in any way. At least I'm honest about it. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Are you winding down? Are you dumping all your stuff? Are you just turning it off and waiting to see what happens? Or are we way beyond that at this point and you're like, that's it, I'm done, sell it all, I'll remain? Are you like me? Are you gonna remain in the space, but kind of like, you know, I'm on the sideline. I pulled out a folding chair, I'm sitting down, I pulled out some combos, you know, pizza combos, maybe a Mountain Dew. I'm just gonna sit here and like, you know, okay, if things pop off, I'm jumping back in, but you know, otherwise it's like, I don't really think it's gonna work out. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat combos, because you know, I'm probably not gonna feel so great after. It's a lot of carbs, it's a lot of refined stuff, it's a lot of seed oils. I know I'm not gonna feel good later. Anyway, let me know what you're doing in the comments below. Be sure to like the video because it's a nice thing to do, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TheTechnicals. See you next time.